And you're on.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday, community. I am so happy to be here with Mr. Ray White with Nation's Finest Organization. I always talk about the before show is always so amazing. I've learned so much already, so I'm excited for you guys as the community to learn a little bit more about what really brought him to this organization and what they're all about. But I would first like to start with just kind of who you are and what you do and really what got you into the Nation's Finest Organization.
Okay, my name's Raymond White. I go by Ray. I'm the site director of Nation's Finest Bullhead City Office. Our organization is an organization that works with low income, at risk, and homeless veterans in northern Arizona, northern Nevada, and parts of California. What we do is we assist veterans and their families with developing sustainability to achieve permanent housing. Primarily, what we do is we integrate access to VA services, healthcare, employment, and accessing permanent housing options. We were formerly known as the Veterans Resource Center of America, but we rebranded in 2020. Our organization has actually been helping low income veterans since 1972.
Can we talk a little bit about how that started? The story was pretty amazing.
How it started was a group of Vietnam veterans seeing how difficult it was for veterans coming back from the war to reintegrate into society, and because the war was unpopular, the homecoming they received was actually hideous.
Ugh.
They got together to try to help veterans that were struggling to reintegrate access available resources and overcome their difficulties with traumatic incidences that happened during the war,
Yeah.
and of course the trauma of coming back from an unpopular war.
Yeah. Gave them a place to start,
Yes,
which is currently what you are doing now.
that's exactly what we do. What we find is, in a lot of cases, veterans don't want to ask for help,
Yeah.
even when they desperately need it.
Very prideful.
And yes, that's definitely a fact. They're proud to have served our country, and they, of course, want to be self-supporting. But in
Yeah.
some cases, overcoming their mental health issues, injuries sustained during service, that sort of thing, they have a difficult time sustaining what what the balance of society considers a common living.
Normal. Yeah.
Our organization works with other community partners in the areas that we serve to ensure that our veterans have access to the services they so richly deserve by the risks that they were willing to take to maintain our way of life,
Yeah. Our freedom.
our freedom, and our society.
Yeah.
Our organization primarily caters to low income veterans, especially the very low income, the ones that are the most vulnerable. But our services are also available to all veterans. In a lot of cases, veterans have a difficult time navigating through the system to access the benefits that they've earned.
Just where to start, right?
And yeah, and where to start. We we have a network set up to help them connect with with the services that they've earned.
So basically, if I was in need of help or just had questions, I could come and see you guys, and really, you guys just kind of talk it out and evaluate what steps to start with or what I would qualify for. And then not only at that point do you just say, okay, here's what you might, good luck, but you actually walk them through the paperwork and the.
That is exactly what we do. We help them. We either directly help them walk through the steps that they need to access the benefits, or we connect them with organizations in the area and in the government that can directly help them process through the, I hate to call it that, but it's the red tape.
Yeah.
Let's put up a flyer here so people can kind of see. You can talk about.
We do, where we came from, the process that we went through moving through the years, and describe some of the services that we directly provide. In some of our locations, we provide transitional housing, permanent supportive housing, homelessness prevention, mental health counseling. All of our offices provide case management. We have mobile service units to reach out to the veterans that are out in outlying or extremely rural areas, and we offer employment services to help them connect with employment. We have some drop-in centers, some behavioral health care centers that help them overcome their anxiety, depression, PTSD, and co-occurring mental health issues.
Which I'm sure are very common in the.
Yes, they are. Unfortunately, it is very common.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of the veterans, that sense of personal pride makes it difficult for them to overcome some of these challenges without help.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, they don't want to ask for help.
Yeah.
And so our case management and some of the therapists that we personally employ and have access through the VA systems can help them overcome those challenges so that they can have the best life that they possibly can.
Yes. Well, and the nice thing is, and we kind of talked about the hub is kind of here in Bullhead City, but that you guys also have an area in Kingman and Havasu. So really, the tri-state area.
Right.
You guys help.
We have a hub at the Vet Center in Lake Havasu. Our main office is in Bullhead City.
Right here on Hancock. So on the flyer, and then we will also post the address. But you guys can actually go in there, and they're also right next to the River Fund, which sounds like you guys work pretty hand in hand with them. So
Yes.
lots of different options.
The easiest way to access us is on the internet at nationsfinest.org. It completely explains exactly what we do and where we're at in the northern Arizona, northern Nevada, and California.
Okay.
And we also have mobile services units that can reach out to veterans that are off the beaten path.
Which in our areas, I'm sure that's a lot of the times.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about donations.
Sure.
So, Jeff, if you can pull up a few of those other pictures.
Yeah, we got this one here that you can talk about first, right here.
That photograph is of SUV that was donated to our office, and through a link with JABC, the Veterans Council in Kingman, we were able to donate that to a veteran in need of transportation to support his job.
It's a nice one, too.
That is very nice.
They don't make excursions anymore. He got himself a nice one.
So, without that donation, he's unable to get to work, which obviously
Yeah.
then causes a whole life
Hardship.
of disaster.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we have this one.
Good old Debbie's dispensary, Mojave Cannabis, they are great donators in the town.
Yes, we had a event last March, and Debbie's was one of our primary
Sponsors.
sponsors with a substantial donation, and we were definitely very grateful to help.
Well, like
Very
you
nice.
said, it takes a whole team, a whole community
As
to
I,
make
as I've
everything
heard it
go
put,
around.
it takes a village to help the people in the village.
Yeah. It's nice when you feel like you're not standing alone.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
one of the things, one of our primary focuses is to empower the veterans and their families that we work with to achieve the best life that they possibly can.
Yeah.
You mentioned housing.
Yeah.
It goes without saying nationwide that there is a lack of affordable housing. You see it on the news
Yeah.
virtually daily. In Mojave County and in the tri-state Colorado River area, there is an extreme lack of affordable housing. What I've noticed, especially over the last couple of years, is the veterans that we serve are becoming older
And in need of more.
and in need of more help. When they're trying to survive on the fixed incomes that a lot of them do in their late 50s, 60s,
Yeah.
70s, even into their 80s, affordable housing is an absolute must.
Yeah. Which is
it's-
almost impossible right now.
It's very difficult right now. There are projects in the works to develop affordable housing, but how do you tell an 80-year-old veteran today that he has to wait 2 years to have a place to live?
Yeah. Which is why I know that we hear a lot of times they end up on the streets.
Yep,
Someone who fought for our country.
absolutely. And I personally don't think that any veteran should be homeless.
No.
They were willing to risk their
Should
life.
go without being said, right?
It should go without being said.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you see it again all over the nation. My primary concern currently is Mojave County and the tri-state area, and helping the veterans which are in excess of 17% of the population in this area,
17%.
and
It's a big number.
many of them are older, retirement age. Ensuring that they have a place to live is definitely a cause that's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, a priority. Is it usually always people who come into the office, or is there something that you guys kind of do outside of that to kind of collect information and who may be in need?
We do outreach. We work by word of mouth, referral from other agencies, and of course those that walk into our office. We make it our priority to especially have our services available for those that are literally homeless. We also do
First priority, I'm sure.
we also do homelessness prevention, though. We can help with rental arrears,
Gotcha.
utilities, emergency food, and in some cases emergency shelter. We work with, again, other organizations in the area to ensure that none of our veterans or their families are on the street.
So I'm assuming very case by case.
It is, of course, case by case.
Yeah.
But if we cannot directly provide service, we have linkage to other organizations that can.
Yeah, so that's something that is nice to know, that basically going into your space or coming in contact with you guys, whether it's something that you can actually help with, or, it's not at that point where it's just like, I'm so sorry, we can't help you, carry on. It's really something that you continue with that family or that vet,
That
or
our
to
approach,
find the next
right.
space that can.
Our approach is not, that's not how we operate. We
I
will
love
help
that.
you find
Figure it
the
out.
assistance that you need.
It's wonderful. That is wonderful. So, do you guys work on donation based, or how does that really work for the community?
Our funding is primarily from donations from the community, from businesses in the community, and through grants from the Veterans Administration.
Gotcha.
Again, hit our website, nationsfinest.org.
Yes.
Right up in the right-hand corner, it has a tab that says to donate or how can you help,
And it'll give you all the
and
options,
it
huh?
will give you all the options.
And for some people that is time, for some people that's money. If I didn't really have money to give, but I had time to give, does that kind of work in the same way, or how?
In-kind donations, time, services that you might have available, anything that can help our veterans, we can put to use.
It's wonderful.
And I put the website up on the screen there. You can see. So those of you who are watching, that's the access page there. You guys can see
So
that.
many ways to help, right? Don't be afraid to hop on there and check it out and see how you may be able to help or donate, whether it's money or time, items.
Yes, we take virtually any kind of donation that you're willing to donate to help the veterans in our communities.
How about your vision of hope moving forward? What does that look like? I'm assuming you're always growing and you're always changing with the times changing, right?
Right. We are growing. Our organization was based on growth. We are constantly researching other funding options from the state, from the federal government, and I know that some of the legislation that's standing right now is looking at ways to create more affordable housing for our low-income veterans.
That's wonderful. That's great to know.
they-
Things are in the works, huh?
Things are in the works. Honestly, I don't feel that it can come soon enough.
No, especially not when you get to see front face, people who
Right.
need help and not always able to help them right that second. That's probably
Right.
very frustrating for
It
you
is.
guys.
Any of the property management in the area that catches a glimpse of this,
Yeah.
there are subsidies available to help our veterans, that tax credits, vouchers. If you're interested in giving back to our veterans, look it up. Look us up. We can put you in touch with ways that you can help America's veterans, especially in the area that I work in.
I love that.
That's awesome for sure.
Yeah. It just takes a village. Takes people reaching out. Takes people being willing to help,
Teamwork.
to
Teamwork,
listen,
yeah.
right? Sometimes it's just listening and figuring out what they need.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Amazing stuff.
It is. It's really, I'm, again, normally on these shows, as we talked about earlier, I just get blown away, and I'm so glad to have you here today.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
One last thing I'd like to bring up before we end the show is you guys do take donations, of course, and if you could talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Again, we're willing to accept virtually any donation. If you, a lot of the difficulties that or challenges that our veterans experience is, especially in Mojave County, is transportation. If you have a functioning vehicle that's usable. Some of our veterans need transportation.
And that can be a tax write-off for someone who donates, correct?
We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and any donations made to our organization are fully tax deductible.
There you go.
We also appreciate non-perishable foods, sleeping bags, camping equipment. Bear in mind, though, we have limited storage.
Do you find that those things are more needed, especially now that it's getting a local or we're getting into winter?
As we move into winter, that type of donation is greatly appreciated.
So that could either be items donated or even a gift card that maybe someone would want to drop
Absolutely.
off, that you could purchase those
In
items
fact,
as needed.
gift cards are the best way to go. And again, as mentioned, any donations that you make are fully tax deductible.
Yeah, which is nice.
And
It's
they
a
can
win-win for
I'm sorry.
everybody.
They
Sorry.
can get that information right off the website, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to put that up one more time for people so they can write it down if they need to.
Yeah, and again, their office is right off of Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
Right here local, helping our local vets.
And we have
Absolutely.
a
Yeah.
picture of the entrance of the building here too, so maybe you'll recognize it.
The River Fund is right next to them. We know they're amazing, and it's great that you guys are able to work together and, help each other out. I appreciate you for being here. We did have a little football talk earlier. He loves Raiders, and Jeff loves Chargers, so we know how
but
that
we
went.
know the outcome of that game. Yeah.
Well, the season is young. We will meet. Absolutely.
Yes. All right, guys. Do not be afraid to reach out to Mr. White or the organization. Please help. As you know, veterans should be near and dear to every one of our heart. Without them, our
And
freedom.
again, the easiest way to contact us is hit our website, nationsfinest.org.
Yes. Thank you for viewing today. Please like and share. If you have any questions, you can always throw them in the little box, and we will see you next week.
Righty. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys. We'll see you.
Have a good day,
Thanks,
everyone.
Ray, for
Happy
coming on in.
Thursday.
Thank you.
Yes.